let me say this before I begin. Because, the thing of it is that I've had a lot of controversy when dealing with these videos about Charlotte, New York, Atlanta, Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Fayetteville, and the list goes on. Overall, the North and the South. And my intentions were to never have a versus, meaning, even though it's crazy. Even though I've had titles to videos saying like Charlotte versus Raleigh or Charlotte versus Atlanta. My intentions were not to war with someone, you know what I'm saying? But overall, wherever you're from, I think that you should represent where you're from. You should say that, like in the case of Raleigh, this guy keeps on getting my nerves with this Raleigh stuff. In the comment section, all of my videos, no matter whether it could be about bears, and he'll just come out of the blue and be like, well, Raleigh has the best bears. Like, yo, why you always gotta? But anyway, he has the right to say Raleigh is the best city in North Carolina, even though factually that's not true. Raleigh may beat certain cities in certain things, but overall, on a big facts, on a factual level, Charlotte is the biggest and fastest growing city in North Carolina. Overall, now you could say, Raleigh was the fastest growing city in 2020. I'm talking about overall. I'm talking about throughout the course of years. I just don't think that you'll understand just the type of city this is. Yes, true indeed. It's not like New York, but that's what's so spectacular about it. You know what? I've always said this stuff. As a person being born and lived in New York and basically from New York, has family in New York, my father's still there. My father's side of the family is still there, with the exception of my great aunt. She moved to Fort Lauderdale. But other than that, my father's side of the family is still in New York. With the exception, let me take that back. There are some that are in Nevis. Right? So I have a deep love for New York. So I always used to be like, yo, there's no other place like New York and da-da-da-da-da. And I used to pop that New York stuff. But now as an adult, you see, I looked through the lens of a young-minded person, a young person. When I was in my 20s, I was saying that. But now that I'm older and mature, I see just how, and I appreciate just how much Charlotte has to give. And it hasn't reached its fullest potential. You see, New York can't grow, but so it can't grow anymore. Where are you gonna build at? What New York has to do now is knock stuff down, and then rebuild. While Charlotte has the land to build, and it's a new, fresh city. So yes, true indeed, Charlotte is not in New York, but that's the beautiful part about it. Raleigh is not in New York, but that's the beautiful part about it. Atlanta is not in New York, and that's the beautiful part about it, because they have their own thing going on. And what's so original and authentic about Charlotte, I was talking to Joe Sig the other day, is Charlotte, and I said this in a video, I asked him as a Charlatan, Joe Sig, he's born and raised here, and he's a weirdo. Like, he's a weirdo. I told him, he's the personification, the physical personification of Charlotte. And I'll explain to you, because I'm not saying weirdo in a negative way. So I was like, yo, man, Charlotte doesn't have any identity. It hasn't found its niche as a city yet. And he was like, yo, ever since I was born, all the way up to now that I'm a young adult, Charlotte has never had its own niche. Charlotte has never had its own culture. The culture is everything. It's not just one thing. And that's what makes Charlotte, when you come down here, that's what makes you say, yo, man, Charlotte is mad cool. You want to know why? Because it's not Southern. It could be Southern It could be northern. It's diverse. That's what's so rare and original and authentic about Charlotte. Like Joe Sick Rhymes, he may do your typical 90s boom bang flow, but then he'll switch it up and do some what is it? The mumble rap. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes Charlotte so beautiful and cool. Like, I've never met people such as Charlotte, the Charlotte people, the charlatans here. Never met them. Never met these type of people. Never, with the exception of New York. And it's crazy because it's the same people that talk about Charlotte and say, well, you know, Charlotte ain't New York. It's not. It's not gonna be. It's not as big as New York. It's not. It's just not. It's never gonna be that. And that's what makes it so nice. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte is a beautiful new city. Oh, well, it's not big as Atlanta. It is bigger than Atlanta. It damn near may be 2 times bigger than Atlanta. You see, y'all are ignorant because y'all don't know what y'all talking about. If you've never been, that's somebody that's never been to Atlanta. But for those that have been to Atlanta would know that Atlanta, not Metro Atlanta, not Metro Atlanta that consists of cities or whatever they want to call them, Dunwoody, Marietta, Sandy Springs and the likes. No. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm over here looking at the game. You know, y'all got me doing videos on game day. Cam Newton wildin'. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not. Charlotte is bigger than Atlanta. But when you deal with the metropolitan area, no. Atlanta got Charlotte beat. But why would I want to live in Atlanta as a minority? I mean, of course, the blacks are not the minority in Atlanta, the city. They are the majority. So I'll say, why would I want to live in Atlanta city limits as a majority? Why? I can give you a whole list of things of what's wrong with Atlanta. I can tell you that Charlotte, this is grown man talk. The infrastructure of Charlotte is perfect. They have been in the workings. They've had blueprints in the late 60s of just how it was going to look in 2020. Period. They knew that this was going to happen. They knew that they were going to get an influx of people. And I can tell you, Charlotte is ready. Charlotte is ready for the next 100 to 200, 300,000 people to come. Whereas Atlanta's not. And this is the reason why you get all of this, all of the traffic and all of the just chaos, because Atlanta's trying to catch up to the influx of people that are coming to the city. And most of the people that are coming to the city, listen to me, are people that are trying to live out their hopes and dreams that they couldn't live out in the city that or state that they originally are from. So in other words, what I'm saying is a lot of people are moving to Atlanta based on the hype. Oh, I can be the next rap producer. I can be the next rapper. I can be the next actor. Oh, Tyler Perry got his studios down there. You know that. Well, you know, I could bump into the Migos, or I could bump into T.I. and Lennox Mall. Everybody's trying to run down there for opportunities that only a few people get into the door. You running down there, and I'm telling you that Atlanta's clicked up. You running down there, and I'm telling you that Atlanta has a problem with jobs and homelessness and racism and all the rest of that stuff. And then what you'll do is you rebuttal and say, well, all cities have that. I'm telling you, if all cities have that, Atlanta has it times 10. And I'll never move to a place, back to that place. Not after what I've heard, not after the research that I've done. Now I know why that place is definitely messed up. Y'all are drinking dead bodies and don't even realize it. Your water supply is coming from Lake Lanier. Look it up. Do your research. Lanier. And you know what's buried? You know what's buried in Lake Lanier? A town called Oscarville, a black town. And there was white people around that area too. 500 people have died in Lake Lanier. They basically flooded a black town called Oscarville, and black people died there. So you're basically drinking water that's coming from Lake Lanier that has bodies in them. As of recent, this past July, a young man, 17 years old, died in Lake Lanier. There have been 27 wow, man. This is crazy. I didn't want to take it left field, but I got to. I got to keep on getting this message out because nobody's talking about this stuff. And you know there are people are still going to Lake Lanier as we speak, and they tell you not to swim in it. They tell you not to boat in it, and they still do it. And people are still dying. 27 bodies that they haven't been able to, dead bodies that they haven't been able to get. So these families where these people have died, they have no closure. And Lake Chattahoochee, please, there have been people have died in that too. Georgia is a racist state, and I'm gonna put it out there just like that. Now, let me get at Charlotte. Charlotte, gentrification, yep. We used to have, well, I can't say we. I'm not I wasn't born and raised here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a transplant just like a lot of other people. So I'll say it like this. Charlotte used to have a area called Brooklyn. And what did the city do? They tore it down. And as usual, they promised the blacks land and they never gave it back to them. Now you have buildings and apartments and all types of stuff, all in, what is it? I think it was 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 4th Ward. Charlotte had this area called Cherry. They tore down the houses and gentrified that. And now that's the metropolitan area. So I'm not trying to excuse Charlotte as if, Charlotte has this clean cut history, specifically dealing with the minorities, because they don't. There have been killings of black people by CPMD, Charlotte Police, Charlotte Police, Mecklenburg Department. CMPD, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. So let's not get it twisted. But what I'm telling you is that Charlotte beats a lot of cities out by far. And I don't think y'all don't understand just how big Charlotte is. Y'all just don't understand. We got the Noda area. We got Ballantyne. We got Huntersville. We got Plasma Midwood. We got Still Creek. We have South Park. These are parts of Charlotte. We got University area. We got North Charlotte, West Charlotte. The list goes on. It takes me anywhere, It takes, if you live in Charlotte, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes anyone that lives in Charlotte anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes to get to the other side of Charlotte, to another part, If I wanted to go to the university area, do you know that it would take me about roughly 35 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. There are certain areas that I did this tour on Charlotte, right? That's the only reason why I went to those certain areas. Other than that, I haven't been to the university area in years. I haven't been in Huntersville area. I've never been to the Huntersville area. Except for the time that I took you all out there on the tour. I take that back. I went up there. I didn't go further up into Huntersville like when you get to Morrisville and Davidson, but I've been there like once. Other than that, I ain't been there in years. So it's like you have to definitely check out Charlotte for yourself. You got to come down here. You got to see exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even want to talk about jobs right now because I don't think anyone's like hiring in particular because of this COVID-19 and how it hit. But I can tell you that the building doesn't stop. So it's not like how can I put it? I mean, Charlotte's still building. So there are certain jobs that are COVID-19 proof. I mean, of course, if you're working at home, that's COVID-19 proof. You got your essential jobs, but they're not gonna pay that much, you know that. And far as dealing with the gig apps, it just depends on what gig apps it is. I could tell you Postmates, Uber Eats, DoorDash, though they ain't doing too good. But Grubhub is. So it just depends on what profession you're into. I mean, plumbing, carpentry work, electrician, stuff like that. You're gonna have a job because they're building. They're gonna need people that do provide the services that you can provide. Tech, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. AI, that's a no-brainer. Those cybersecurity, that's a no-brainer. Banks, we have the two largest banks in America, Wells Fargo and Bank of America. You know what I'm saying? The weather, beautiful. We still, it's what, September 13th, 14th? I'm still wearing shorts. We ain't gonna, I stopped wearing shorts like around October. We got short winters. Probably snows once or twice out of the winter. Last year, earlier part of this year, it snowed for 3 hours and then it melted. That's it. You're gonna have a variety of things to do for as entertainment. You don't have to worry about, that's one thing that you don't have to worry about in the South, specifically in Charlotte. You're gonna have your restaurants, you're definitely gonna have East Indian food, Caribbean food, Italian food, the list goes on. I just think that, in my personal opinion, that Charlotte is very diverse when it comes to, life. Your lifestyle. It has a little bit of everything, and that's what makes it so wonderful. Period. And for it to just be new and clean, I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna live here for the rest of my life because I'm a vagabond. I pick up and go, and I want to live other places and experience those places. So when I pack up, because I am eventually, when I pack up, don't be on some mess like, oh man, I guess you feel as though that this place is better and did it. No, I just want to experience another place. Like eventually I want to move out of the country. That's just me. And you can't knock me for the way I feel and the way that I think. Because I'm not going to knock you for the way that you feel and the way that you think and the way that you live your life. And if I did, who cares? My opinion doesn't matter. That's the problem with people. We always thinking about what everybody else think or say. I gave that up a long goddamn time ago, and you know what happened? My life changed. It got better. Now, if you ask me a question about my personal, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Okay, so since you wanna know what's my profession, what I do, because some people do wanna know, well, Langston, what do you do for money while in Charlotte? Okay, cool, I'll give you that, but I tell you what, how many times do you sleep with your man? How many times do you sleep with your wife? Well, Langston, that's a little too personal. Same here. You asking me about what I do and how much money I make is personal to me. So that's the thing. I don't think I ever explained Joe Sigan for as me saying he's weird, because he's a little bit of everything. Smart, thug, you know what I'm saying? Funny, talented. But all of that stuff that I just named, that's what Charlotte is. Dorky. He told me one time, I know he gonna kill me for saying this. He said he was delivering for Postmates. And he was walking out of a restaurant. And you know how it's like sometimes the sidewalks, they have like the pavement is like stuck up, you know what I'm saying? So he walking la boom, trips and busts his ass. He was like, yo, I'm just normally like that, stuff like that happen. I'm like, yo man, let me tell you something. You my friend and all, but If I'm there, I'm pulling out the camera and saying World Star. I'm gonna say World Star, and then after that, I'll be like, yo, man, you all right? Oh, man, yo, listen. Yo, Charlotte ain't New York. Charlotte ain't Atlanta. Charlotte ain't Jacksonville. Charlotte ain't Los Angeles. Charlotte ain't Houston. Charlotte ain't Dallas. Charlotte is Charlotte. That plain and simple. I want you to like. I want you to comment. I want you to share this video. Why are you doing that? Just push the subscribe button. Why are you doing that? You know, push the button on notifications. Yo, I'm about to do this series. I had it on my old channel, but you know, it was a little too graphic for as like curse words and stuff like that. This second channel is a little bit more friendly, family friendly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reintroduce the series called Confessions of an Ex-Nubian. I think I did 19 parts. 3 of those parts are on this new channel, but I'm gonna go ahead and put music behind a lot of the videos that I did, the series that I did, because they didn't have no music, and I'm gonna bleep out the curse words. And I'm telling you, when you listen to these, because some of y'all not subscribed to my old channel, and you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring that good content that I have on the old channel over into the new. So, you know, some of y'all haven't seen Confessions of an Ex-Nubian, but I'm gonna bring it to you, and this man is a very good story, you know, true story. I was part of a cult, and then that cult, sex, drugs, violence, and I was caught in the middle of it. You know, when y'all hear this, man, I mean, it's gonna blow your mind if you're not familiar with the Nubians and Dr. Malachi York. I'm gonna give you a day. I'm gonna put that out on Tuesday. So I'm gonna start the series Tuesday morning. It's called Confessions of an Ex-Nubian. Be on the lookout for that. I am an author, so I tell some of the best stories on the planet. Like I said, it's gonna be family friendly. So when you don't hear, like say for example, I say, yeah, you mother, and then you don't hear the curse, I'm bleeping that out so everybody can hear the story, because I wouldn't want none of my family members, friends, and people that I care for to be part of that cult or any cult. So it is a lesson well learned. I'm sorry. I apologize to myself, because I never done that. I apologize to myself that I had to take myself through that. I should have been a little bit more wise in the decision that I made far as, you know, joining the cult. You know, but coming from a single parent household where my father wasn't there, you know, I made decisions because my father wasn't there, certain decisions. And had my father been there all my life, you know, I wouldn't have joined the cult. Because in that cult, I was looking for a father figure. And that father figure just so happened to be Dr. Malachi York. I don't want to give it away, but yeah, man. Confessions of an Ex-Nubian. I'm gonna put out part 1 on Tuesday morning, and we're gonna rock and roll. Peace.